What's going on, everyone? Alex Miller from the Eagle here, joined by Travis Brown. We're live inside Kyle Field following Texas A&M's weekly press conference a couple days after the Aggies' road win against Missouri. Travis, there was looking back at Missouri, looking ahead to the Aggies' game against South Carolina, but probably the biggest news of the day, Jimbo Fisher really nailing the hammer down that he's staying at A&M after news came out this weekend that Ed Orgeron's not going to return as LSU's head coach. And without a question, Jimbo's name pops up as a guy that LSU would likely pursue, given Scott Woodward's the athletic director and was the guy that hired him here at A&M.
It's in October right now. I love being here. This is the job I wanted. I'm being here. I got a great contract. I have an unbelievable chancellor. I have an unbelievable president, an unbelievable AD. That we're building something, we're recruiting great players. I really believe we're on the process of building something great. I plan on being here and fulfilling this contract and doing everything. My family has roots here. I got ranches here. I hunt here. I love everything about this place. And I say that because listen, there's nothing going on there. There's nothing happening there. And I don't be disrespectful to anybody else. I coached there. It was a great place. We won national championships. It is one of the best places in America. It's a wonderful place. I love being an A&M, and I plan on being an A&M here and fulfilling my whole contract. I love everything about this place. And let me tell you something else. And the way this place has embraced me and my family, and including our foundation, the things that are going on with our foundation, the way the people have embraced it, the way people have done everything here in College Station. I love everything about the people here, the administration here, and everybody in charge here, and the people who run this organization. And I love it here.
You know, what'd you make of Jimbo's comments that it seems like there's no question that he'll be at A&M after this season?
Yeah, I mean, I think he did a good job of kind of dispelling any rumors, any reports that might come out about there. Said that not only is he happy here, and this is a place where he wants to fulfill out the remainder of his contract, his family is happy here. They've bought ranch, they have lands, they bought cattle. You know, I did a story earlier this year on Marty and McGee, two ESPN guys who came down and shot their commercials at Jimbo's ranch, which is just, and he was so proud and drove them around on his gator and showed them all the property and was so proud of what he's been able to build up and the roots he's been able to lay here in College Station. So I don't see that there would be any reason necessarily for him to uproot all of that and the foundations he's laid for him and his family and the A&M football program as well, and the kind of trajectory that they're on. Not to mention his wife, Courtney Fisher, tweeted while the press conference was going on, saying, and for what it's worth, she's very happy here too. And if the wife's happy, then you gotta everybody's happy, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't know because I'm not married, but I'll take Jimbo or Courtney's word for it at least. But yeah, you know, and you think about to the beginning of the season when Jimbo got the contract extension, you know, it seemed like a premeditated move on A&M's part, knowing that there was a chance that, hey, if LSU doesn't do well or maybe some of these allegations come out, that job could become open, and I wouldn't put it past Scott Woodward to try and go after a guy that he obviously has a close relationship with. And Jimbo said it, you know, Scott Woodward, they still talk here and there, even after he took the job at LSU. You know, what does it say about A&M's commitment to Jimbo that he's their coach and they're really, A&M is putting in the work to keep him here themselves? Yeah,
I think that's very true. I think that was an obvious move on their part because it did seem pretty obvious that LSU was ready to move on from Ed Orgeron, and that move was to help solidify and keep him here. But yeah, I think that I mean, it was the smart thing to do. I know people are going to criticize it, but it is something to show that A&M is willing to pay the industry standard for their coach, and that they're very happy with their coach, and they want to keep him here and keep him happy.
Yeah, well, we'll have more coverage on Jimbo and his thoughts on staying at A&M. Travis, real quick, let's look back at A&M's game on Saturday. You know, what'd you kind of hear from Jimbo and the players? What went well, and maybe things they're looking to improve on after that pretty convincing win on Saturday?
Yeah, you know, it was funny. Jimbo talked, and there was a lot of talk about those swing passes to the flats, and Calzada not necessarily being too accurate on those. And he said it was kind of funny because he was telling them, don't we have any other plays to run, with how much they were running those plays, and he said they hit all of them. It's just a matter of doing it in the game and executing, having a little bit better fundamentals and getting that ball over the defensive end, which is what they're looking for Calzada to do. Said he's liked what he's seen, the improvement that he's seen in the offensive line, and it was nice to get to talk to Jalen Preston a little bit, a guy we haven't gotten to talk with very much, and see how committed he was to seeing this thing out at A&M, when as a guy who was pretty highly touted coming in, didn't get a lot of playing time early, and as you know, the story goes with all these guys, could have been a guy to transfer, but stuck with it and has seen some pretty convincing playing time. And simply put, now all he's excited about and wants to see is he just wants to catch a touchdown, and that'll be something to look forward to for him.
Yeah, well, I'll have a Q&A with Jalen Preston later this week. You know, what was interesting in that interview was he noted how he was a former roommate of Zach Calzada, which I found really interesting, and just the fact that, you know, when it was Kellen Mond and some of those other guys that were ahead of him, you know, they were coming out to the practice field on their own, throwing routes with some of the backup guys, and then now it's their time to shine, and Jalen obviously has seen way more playing time this season. You know, looking ahead to this game, the Battle of the Bonham Trophy, Travis. Our favorite game. I think you and I might be Bonham Trophy experts. We should put that in our bio, our Twitter bio.
We definitely are. Yeah. A lot of work we did in the past on stories on the Bonham Trophy, and who knows where it is at this point.
Yeah, we maybe we'll figure that out this week if we're lucky. But yeah, you know, what do you see maybe this A&M team building towards going against a South Carolina team? And you know, A&M's got its bye week next week. This seems like it's a winnable game for the Aggies. South Carolina just squeaking by a really bad Vanderbilt team. But what are you looking for early in the week from the Aggies going into this game?
I think it's all about consistency in this game, and being able to have an offense that consistently can move the ball through all 60 minutes of the game. They did a great job, especially in the run game through the first half, but then Missouri was able to stack the box, and it kind of slowed things down a little bit. They weren't necessarily able to connect on some of those passes. They weren't able to run the ball as effectively because of how much commitment they were putting in stopping the run, and they weren't able to really make the adjustments in the second half to keep that thing going consistently. It's going to be another bad team that they're facing this week in South Carolina. They almost lost to Vanderbilt. Seeing if they can have that consistency to play through the whole 60 minutes. It wasn't even necessarily there, even though they beat Alabama. There was that stretch offensively, and you could say defensively, through about the third quarter where the offense just really couldn't get it going, and the defense allowed 21 straight points. They need to show that they can do that throughout the course of the game, and I think this is a good week to do it.
Aggies and Gamecocks, they'll be facing off right here at Kyle Field Saturday night. Thanks for checking in with us post-press conference report. Oh, Travis, before we go, let's get a little injury update because Jimbo did give a few updates on a few guys.
Yeah, so you got Hez Jones is going to be out for the season. He's going to have surgery. Caleb Chapman, wide receiver, was actually back in practice last week, so that could be good signs for him moving back into getting some playing time. And he said Jalen Peavy and Kenyon Green. Peavy, of course, was out with an injury during the Missouri game, and Kenyon Green actually left twice during the Missouri game with injury. He said both those guys are okay. We're not sure exactly. In the past, that has meant with Jimbo that they would play, but he said some players have been okay this season, and they actually haven't suited up and played. With it's a South Carolina team that's that bad in an offensive line that needs a little bit of depth. It might be a game to hold Kenyon Green out. I don't know, but his official quote word was that he's okay.
Well, guess we'll see what happens Saturday night here at Cal Field. Thanks for tuning in, guys. For Travis Brown, I'm Alex Miller. Be sure to check theeagle.com for all of our coverage this week leading up to Saturday's game. We'll see you next week.